The top 100 players heading into the 2024 MLB season. Starting off this list at 100, we have Brian Hayes. If you're the reason Arenado did not win a Gold Glove, you had a pretty good season. 45 defensive runs saved the last 2 years, and the bat finally started showing signs of life. 99, Christian Yelich. The former MVP is 4 years removed, but he still had what most would call an improvement from his last 3 seasons. 98, Tanner Bybee. When the only one stopping you from winning the Rookie of the Year is Gunnar Henderson, I'd say you did alright. Guardians pitching lab strikes again. 97, Tristan Casas. Finishing right behind both rookies just mentioned, we have the Red Sox first baseman. Boston has their corner infielders locked down. 96, Thairo Estrada. The utility man may not be the star in San Fran or the flashiest, but he's got it done the last 2.5 years for the Giants. 95, Seiya Suzuki. A solid MLB debut season last year, but he was a big part of the Cubs' surprise record this year. 94, Max Muncy. Coming off a down year, Muncy bounced back, tying his career high with 36 home runs. He's one of the many big bats for the Dodgers. 93, TJ Friedl. When you have as much as exciting talent as the Reds do, someone like Friedl gets overshadowed. He was looked at as one of the bigger all-star snubs, but he still received an MVP vote. 92, Gleyber Torres. He's never turned into what he was projected to be, but he's become underrated at this point. Putting up a 123 WRC plus is his second highest in his career. 91, Kodai Senga. The Mets hype died quickly, but Senga's lived on, finishing second in Rookie of the Year and 7th in Cy Young. That ghost pitch is legit. 90, Dylan Cease. Surprisingly not traded at the deadline, he's played his last game with the White Sox still. A noticeable drop-off after his last 2 years. 89, Nathaniel Lowe. Very solid 5 years. Last year he proved he could be a huge bat winning a Silver Slugger, and this year he proved he has the glove to go with it. 88, Pablo Lopez. The Marlins still won this trade, but the Twins are still very happy knowing they have their current ace locked down for the next 4 years. 87, Kyle Bradish. Baltimore will add a true ace soon, but Bradish took that title for 2023, going from a typical number 5 to finishing 4th in Cy Young. 86, James Outman. Already our 4th rookie. This class was loaded. 9 outs above average, 4.4 F4. He looks like another rising star for the Dodgers. 85, Aaron Nola. One of the biggest free agents of the offseason. Returning back to Philly, he's looking to replicate what he did in 2022. 84, Luis Castillo. He's always been this good, and he's finally got a chance to show it to everyone on a more competitive team in Seattle. 83, Nico Horner. Back-to-back years with an F4 above 4, and this year it came with 14 defensive runs saved between second and short. 82, Ha-Seong Kim. A disappointment his rookie year, and with all the star power in San Diego, Kim gets overshadowed, but just in 2023, he saved 16 defensive runs while putting up a 112 WRC plus at the plate. 81, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You know you're a good hitter when a 118 WRC plus is considered bad, but when you can't play defense and you were an MVP runner-up just 2 years ago, it's hard to be happy about it. 80, Framber Valdez. 2 complete game shutouts led the league for the 2nd straight season. Also back-to-back years of being an all-star and receiving Cy Young votes. 79, Steven Kwan. If you want to talk about underappreciation, this is your guy. The bat took a bit of a fall from last year, but the defense got even better, which is hard to believe after his rookie year. 78, David Bednar. It might have cost them Musgrove, but the Pirates found a lights-out closer in David Bednar. This year, he led the league in saves. 77, Carlos Correa. Twins have to be worried after 2 teams backed out, then re-signed him for $200 million just to have a 96 WRC plus. We'll see if the star can bounce back. 76, Jordan Montgomery. A very good year between 2 teams turned out even better after what he was able to do in the ALCS to help the Rangers get back to the World Series. 75, Ian Happ. The defense was still good, but a noticeable fall from last year. He's turned into the Cubs' main guy the last 2 years too. 74, Justin Steele. He had a legit argument for Cy Young until a rough September. Still being under contract for the next 4 years, it looks like the Cubs found themselves an ace. 73, George Springer. His bat was still above average, but nowhere close to what it's been the rest of his career, leading to a solid drop from last year in the rankings. 72, Christian Walker. 33 and 36 homers has turned into one of the big boppers for the D-backs, and don't let his NLCS make you forget about his other 3 series this postseason. 71, Kyle Schwarber. One of the harder ones to rank. Finished 1 and 2 in NL home runs last 2 years, which means a lot in today's game, but this year he hit under the Mendoza line and also led the league in Ks. Again. 70 Marcell Ozuna. His last 2 years of struggles were kind of self-inflicted, but still his comeback this year was very impressive after slugging .558 and hitting 40 home runs. 69 JP Crawford. Far and away his best season, getting on base at a .380 rate and coming up just short of a .5F WAR. 68 Josh Hader. He'll break the record for reliever money, and he's deserved it, being as lights out as it gets since entering the league. 67 Nolan Jones. Just another player Cleveland gave up on too early. A huge surprise this year with the Rockies, and they aren't Coors inflated, putting up even better numbers on the road. 66 Isaac Paredes. The Rays fleeced a trade? No way. Paredes was good last year but took it to a new level in 23. 65 Zach Eflin. Back-to-back Rays. It's rare for the Rays to actually pay for their good players, but he just casually had far and away his best year. 64 Max Fried. Injuries limited his season, but in 14 starts, his season was on pace to be just as good as his last 3. 63 Matt Chapman. You know the type of defender you're getting, but the bat on the other hand took a huge fall off in the second half. Regardless, he's still one of the better third basemen in the league. 62 George Kirby. A very good rookie year turned into an even better second year, finishing 8th in Cy Young voting and his first of many All-Star appearances. 61 Devin Williams. The most unhittable pitch in the game. The airbender keeps adding to an already very impressive resume and his second straight NL reliever of the year. 60 Randy Arozarena. He's always been a very exciting player, and the WBC showed that to the max. He's not just fun, he's a damn good player too. 59 Corbin Burns. More than likely, Burns is throwing his last pitch as a Brewer, and at this time next year, he'll be one of the top free agents, possibly earning $300 million. 4 straight years with Cy Young votes and 3 straight All-Star appearances. 58 JT Realmuto. Last year, I had him as the best catcher in baseball. He's still very good, but all his numbers dropped significantly, most notably his F4 by 5 points. 57 Brian Reynolds. Over the last 3 years, he's become the face of the franchise in Pittsburgh, and after signing an extension, it looks like he will be for the majority of his career. 56 Ketel Marte. The NLCS MVP is coming off his second best career year, slugging .485 and was huge in all 4 playoff series for the D-backs. 55 Pete Alonso. It's going to be tough for Alonso to ever replicate his rookie season. 86 homers the last 2 years is pretty close though. 54 Cody Bellinger. The NL Comeback Player of the Year was an easy pick. Coming off 3 straight bad years, he decided to slug .525 for the Cubs, earning himself a huge contract soon. 53 Emmanuel Clase. His worst year of his career, and he still put up a sub-3 FIP. Tons of club control left, and Cleveland is looking to trade him. 52 Bo Bichette. The bat has been great ever since entering the league, but after a horrific year on defense, he needed to turn that part of his game around, and he did just that. 51 Sean Murphy. When you see a 129 WRC plus for a catcher, you think that's a damn good catcher, but it's not even the best part of his game. He's a really damn good catcher. 50 Luis Robert Jr. Injuries have robbed us of what Robert could have been since 2020. He finally stays healthy and he puts up a .5F WAR. Not surprising. 49 Logan Webb. Receiving a first place Cy Young vote, Webb built off his strong 2022, leading the league in multiple stats this season. 48 Ozzie Albies. One of many big-time players for the Braves, Albies just put up far and away his best season, hitting 33 bombs and put up a 124 WRC+. 47 Jose Altuve. It's tough for players to say they have more clutch hits than Altuve. 90 games limited his season, but he still did what he did best in the postseason. 46 Felix Bautista. There was an argument for him to be the AL Cy Young before his season ended injury. He's still far and away the best reliever in baseball. 45 Spencer Strider. Leading the league in 4 stats this year, helped him finish 4th in Cy Young. Win-loss for pitchers mean nothing, but still going 20-5 is impressive to tell someone. 44 Alex Bregman, an extremely consistent player, and just like Altuve, multiple big hits. 43 Andres Jimenez. Last year I called him the most underrated player. The bat took a big drop, but somehow his defense got even better. 23 defensive runs saved. 42 Will Smith. Yes, the Dodgers can buy some players, but they also poop out guys like Will Smith all the time. He's been great at the plate, and this year he put up his best defensive numbers too. 41 Cal Raleigh. Officially calling Raleigh my most underrated player right now. Is there a better nickname than Big Dumper? Big boy power and great defensively. 40 Brandon Nimmo. He just does everything right. There's not a bad part of his game, and he's been just like that ever since 2017. 39 Michael Harris. With the way his season started, it looked like he was going to have his sophomore slump. Yeah, that didn't happen. It just makes his overall numbers look more impressive. 38, Kevin Gausman, 3 straight years with Cy Young votes, and for the first time being a finalist, led the league in strikeouts per 9 this season. 37, Rafael Devers, a slugging .500 or better for the 3rd straight year. He's just a big feared lefty power bat. The defense isn't great though. 36, Nolan Arenado. For the first time in his career, Arenado didn't win the Gold Glove. His bat was also the worst it's been a full season since his rookie year. Even with both of those being said, he was still very good. 35, Bobby Witt Jr., a superstar in the making, and what he did in the second half showed how good he can be. The Royals have a new face of the franchise. 34, Sonny Gray, the newest Cardinals ace. His overall career has been very good, and even at age 33, he put together his best season by a solid amount. 33, Zach Wheeler. Especially when you take into account total money and postseason success, it's tougher to find a better free agent sign-in for a team of the last few years than Wheeler was for the Phillies. He's been that good. 32, Manny Machado. For his standards, 2023 was a disappointment. It's not always easy to live up to Hall of Fame standards though. 31, Xander Bogaerts. Back-to-back Padres. We have 3 more too. It's insane how this team missed the playoffs. Very consistent player who does everything above average. 30, Adolis Garcia. The regular season was very good for him, but what really got him put up this high was his insane postseason. ALCS MVP and just an unstoppable force during the Rangers' whole run. 29, Fernando Tatis Jr. His absence last year was self-inflicted. His defense at short was not great, and with the sign of Bogaerts, he got the chance to switch to right. He responded by winning a platinum glove. Yeah, that'll do. 28, Luis Arraez. Batting .400 seemed possible at the start. It wasn't, but back-to-back batting titles is still pretty solid. The defense could be better, but when you're putting up a 132 WRC plus, you'll live with. 27, Gunnar Henderson. Some early season struggles in the first 2 months had some questioning the hype. He shut that down quickly, receiving all first place votes for Rookie of the Year. 26, Yandy Diaz. 3 out of his last 4 seasons, he's had an OBP above 400. This year, he won the batting title and received his first All-Star nod. 25, Adley Rutschman. It's hard to be more of a shirt than Adley. Then to get it done and help lead Baltimore to the 1 seed is an incredible start to his career. 24, Zach Gallen, a Cy Young finalist for the first time, but his overall numbers might have been better last year. That's how good of a 2-run stretch he's currently on. 23, Paul Goldschmidt. The MVP from a year ago fell back a good amount this year. Still a very good year for Goldie. 22, Trey Turner. Did the fans save his season? Probably. His second half was great and was a big reason why the Phillies were able to return to the NLCS. 21, Kyle Tucker. It doesn't seem to matter what Tucker does. He doesn't get talked about enough for how good he is. 3 straight years of just missing a 5 F4, and he came up just 1 home run short of 3 straight 30 home run seasons. 20, William Contreras. Coming into the year, his defense was highly questioned. He tucked that, had nearly the same year offensively, and became the best defensive catcher with his elite framing. 19, Blake Snell. The NL Cy Young had an odd year. He was bad the first month, mid the next month, then just decided to be nearly unhittable after that. 18, Marcus Semien. 3 out of the last 5 years, Semien has finished 3rd in MVP voting. He's a part of the best middle infield in the game with Seager. 17, Bryce Harper. Injuries have become a big problem the last few years for Harper, but when healthy, he's one of the best pure hitters in the game, and he proved that again this year. 16, Austin Riley. Top 7 MVP voting has become common for Riley. Slugging .500 and change will also do that. 15, Francisco Lindor. Lindor makes it look as easy as you can at short, and after struggling the first year with the Mets, his bat has been huge. 14, Corbin Carroll. For the most part, the only guys to have a better rookie season are Hall of Famers or soon to be. And personally, as someone who missed stolen bases, it's good to see a rookie help bring them back. 13, Jose Ramirez. J Ram is on the path to Cooperstown, and no one really seems to care about how good his career has been. One of the best consistent hitters since entering the league. 12, Yordan Alvarez. One of the best pure hitters in the game. Injuries limited him to 114 games this year, slugged .583, another great postseason, and he's just feared for a reason. 11, Julio Rodriguez. Like Harris, his season started slow and it took even longer to turn around, which is what makes his 5.9 F4 even more impressive. Here are the top 10. At number 10, we have Garrett Cole. Finally won his first Cy Young after so many close calls, and he did it in dominating fashion, receiving all first place votes. 9, Juan Soto. I'll never understand how the Padres were as bad as they were. Soto will be on his 3rd team in 2 years starting next season, and probably his 4th after. Led the league in walks for the 3rd straight year, and he just turned 25. 8. Matt Olson. Imagine leading the league in home runs, RBIs, and slugging, yet still not being an MVP finalist. That's how good the top 3 were. 7. Aaron Judge. I mentioned injuries way more than I'd like, and sadly, I'll have to one more. But Judge only played in 106 games this year. Expecting another year of a 209 WRC plus is unfair, yet he was still on pace for more than 50 home runs. Again. 6. Corey Seager. Good last year, but far and away his best year this season. A 6.23 slugging and a 6.1 F4 with only 119 games played is extremely impressive. 5. Freddie Freeman. A casual 410 OBP and 7.9 F4 for the Dodgers, while also leading the league in doubles. 4. Mookie Betts. His best year since the win MVP back in Boston. Definition of a 5-2-0 player, and only the guy we're about to get to prevented him from winning his second MVP. 3. Mike Trout. Second straight year dropping a single spot. There's no questions about how good he is when healthy, but unfortunately he just hasn't been the last 3 years. 2. Shohei Ohtani. Hold on, let me defend myself. When he's able to do both, he's no doubt number 1. No one even comes close. Next year, he'll only be at the plate, which he still put up a 180 WRC plus at. I understand the argument for number 1, but he's not the Ohtani we've seen over the last 3 years, at least in 2024. And the best player in baseball heading into the 2024 season is Ronald Acuna Jr., the first 40-70 player in MLB history. He led the league in a lot of stats and put up an 8.3 F4 while doing it all. He was a threat on the field no matter where he was, and somehow the Braves have him locked down for just over $10 million a year.